MMPC-002, Human Resource Management, Block 4, Employer-Employee Relations. That covers the Unit 12, 13, and 14, which includes employee empowerment, grievance handling, and discipline management procedures. And Unit 14 involves unions and associations. Let's learn about employee empowerment first. Employee empowerment basically refers to the empowerment of an employees of an organizations which involve the delegating authorities and responsibilities to the individuals at lower levels of the organizational hierarchy. There are certain key requirements of empowerment. When we talk about the empowerment and we discuss about the empowerment, the four major things comes in our mind, that is knowledge, information, power, and rewards. Knowledge refers to what the employees must have access to process details, the quality standards, customer feedbacks, and key events. Whereas the knowledge is all about the understanding of work processes, business operations, and overall work system. The power refers to the ability to make the decisions regarding their own work, and the rewards refers to the incentives linked with that work profile. There are certain benefits which is given by Denison in 1984 of empowerment, or maybe we can always call it involvement also. That is higher quality products and services. It reduces the absenteeism. It reduces employee turnover. It improves the decision making and enhance the problem solving capabilities among the employees. And overall, it impacts the organizational effectiveness. There are certain challenges. The major one, which is given by KHANNA in 1982, the level of empowerment needed remains to be managerial paradox, requiring careful judgment. Certain characteristics of empowered organization. These organizations invest a lot in effort and their time during hiring. They make sure that the new recruitees can handle the workplace freedom. The organizational hierarchy is flat in these kind of organization. They set loose guidelines. They have very flexible guidelines as far as the decision making parameters. Accountability is paramount. Results matter more than process. The high quality performance is always expected in these kind of organizations. These organizations have open and strong communication channels. Employee satisfaction is the core value of any empowered organization. The benefits of organization is for empowerment is not only to organization but also to employees. When we see the from organizational context, it creates the network of empowered workers, leading to responses to challenges. They have higher customer loyalty, higher quality at lower cost, and much more greater productivity. It not only encourages the proactivity or proactive problem solving and innovation, but also encourage the continuous improvement, which enhances the employees' motivation and definitely, lastly, the business performances. The employee benefits of empowerment not only boost the self-esteem and involvement of employees, but also provide the learning and development opportunities with reference of personal growth, and also enhances a sense of achievement among the employees and participation. The role of empowerment in organization is not only limited to decision making and problem solving. It also motivates and increases the morale of the employees, which definitely is essential for competitiveness and productivity in modern businesses. There are certain challenges when it comes to the implementation of empowerment within an organization. Sometimes it lacks of trust and transparency. Most of the empowered organizations say they have an open communication, but sometimes they hinders they don't communicate so much on the when it comes to their favorism or nepotism. In India, senior management often preaches empowerment but fails to implement that it effectively with this context. The role of HR professionals in empowerment is largely depends how to increase, how to influence the organization culture, and also drive the step down approach for successful empowerment. When we are talking about empowerment, one very important word, that is quality circle, comes in our mind, which is a form of participative management. Various styles exist, with quality circles being one of the most widely applied. Quality circle concept is successfully implemented. It is originated in USA, but it was successfully implemented in Japan. The Japanese firms are known to be for the high quality products at lower cost, and quality circle is one of the major reasons for that. Quality circle consists of nearly 8 to 10 employees. They meet regularly, maybe more weekly, sometimes fortnightly or monthly basis, on a set objectives with problem frequencies. They discuss about the quality related issues and alternate solutions, or the methods and the techniques are recommended after investigation of the problems. Certain methodologies and techniques are used to find out the problems, and then to find out the intervention, and then leads to the decision making. The corrections and tested are implemented, and norms have proven effective. Work environment and benefits of quality circles are within the organization premises. All the employees are from senior management, even from the lower management or mid management, are involved and are representatives who are of the organization itself within the departments. They are mainly focused on the quality related issues, and they have designated space for discussions. The employees share common responsibility, they foster the collaborative work and the decision acceptability. It is mainly focused on training and skill development, where the employees lack analytical and decision making skills. Quality Circle not only provides training in group communication skills, but also emphasize on quality strategies and measurements with problem solving methodologies and techniques. Workers' participation in management is very well-known concept since Industrial Revolution. It gained importance due to factors such as growth in large-scale enterprises, increase in workforce, shift from paternalistic management to formal consultation, rise of professionalism, and democracy in industry. Evolution of social justice principle, which is very much required when we talk about the workers participation. It is all about the transformation of labor management relationship. There is a philosophy behind workers participation, democratic decision making, where the employees and employers both are involved in any of the decision makings of the organization. Strong, they have a stronger employer employee collaborations, minimal state intervention. It means that it is bound to be between, within the organization, it is bound to be between the employer and employee coordinations. Workers' participation in management have different interpretations and practices. It is seen as joint consultation in industry. Joint consultation refers to the employer and employee mutual understanding about the decision and the problem solving strategies. It is considered as labor management cooperation model as well. It is recognized as co-partnership in decision making, where the employer and employee both are sit together. They talk about the problems, they discuss about the issues, and decide within themselves. It is also viewed as industrial democracy. Forms of participation can range from voluntary information sharing by management to formal involvement in decision making. Workers are largely impacted due to workers' participation, which not only encourages their mental and emotional involvement where they are working, it also promotes the contribution to group goals. It enhances the shared responsibility within the organization. There are majorly three ideas of participation. Participation means mental and emotional involvement rather than mere muscular activity. A person's self is involved rather than his body. It is more psychological than physical. It means when a person is working in an organization, it is very important them to be feel as a part of it, as an extended arm of an organization. That leads to the mental well-being as well as the emotional intelligence of an emotional involvement of an employees. Participation is that it motivates persons to contribute to achievement on organization goals by creative suggestions and initiatives. It encourages people to accept responsibility. They are ready to work with manager instead of against them. So this is more of a collaborative and participative management where employer and employee, supervisors and subordinates work mutually on a set objective which is given by the organization, and they reach collaboratively towards that goal. Different elements of participation given by Keith Davis is more of mental and emotional involvement that goes beyond physical effort, motivation to contribute. It's seen that the more the people when are or the employees when are participative, they are involved in the decision making. Their motivation definitely increase. The response is more towards the contribution level. They wanted to. They take initiatives in certain object reaching the organizational objectives. And third element, the most important, is sharing the responsibility, which not only ensures the commitment or decisions to decisions or activity, but also to increase the likelihood of success in implementation. The participation encourages the contribution of group goals and the shared responsibility, which is also encouraged by Kate Davis in in his definition. The certain forms of participation is namely as collective bargaining, joint consultation, work councils, joint management councils and committees, and workers' ownership of enterprise. What is collective bargaining? Collective bargaining is a negotiation process where the unions or the workers sit with the organization management, top management, and talk about the changes or the demands what they want. This is called collective bargaining. Joint consultation is more of a participative, it is more of a collaborative effort of both employer and employee. They jointly work together towards to solve the problems and the issues within an organization. Work council refers to within this council, the representative of the organizations are sit together with the managements, and they talk, they solve about the problems and take the decisions jointly. Joint management councils and committees are formed from management representatives and the workers representative or the employees representative to work on any change in policies, any interventions, any problem solving techniques, or maybe for the betterment of an organizations. Workers' ownership of enterprise is more inclined towards the workers largely participation in the where the enterprise feel them as the stakeholders of an organ. Workers are the stakeholders of an organization, or maybe they have feel like having their own organization. The effects of participative decision making, there is a certain mechanism where the participation cause is participative decision making is intervention mechanism, and it affects on reduced absenteeism and turnover among the employees, which is intervened by increased value attainment, self-expressions, respect, influence, that not only increase the morale and satisfaction, but definitely leads to increased productivity and efficiency. Also, advocate by cognitive factors, more upward communication or better utilization of information is required, which leads to more creative ideas among the workers or the employees. It increases the intervention mechanism can be a better understanding of job and decisions by employees. Certain motivational factors also work as an intervention, like increasing it increase by increasing the trust among the employees, group pressures or support group supports, higher goals, that less resistance to change and more acceptance to commitment. So when we talk about the participative decision making, here the decision making is the interventions are not solely responsible of the management, but also the equally workers or the employees are equally responsible in making the decision and finding out the problem solving techniques and the strategies to increase the overall organizational effectiveness. The evolution of workers' participation in management in India started in 1947 when Works Committee during the Industrial Dispute Act. Then in 1958, joint management councils were emphasized on the labor as a partner in development. Then further in 1970, employee director in nationalized banks required to appoint as employees director, one for workmen and one for officers. Later in 1975, the constitutional amendment in section 43A, the scheme introduced for workers, especially for the manufacturing and mining industries with 500 plus workers. Later, after just 2 years, in 1977, scheme for workers' participation in management is introduced. In 1978, special tripartite committee, it was recommended as three-tier system where the management board, the plant, and the shop floor. Here, the shop floor means the people who are working, or the workers who are working actually on a low management on the ground level. Now, in 1983, public sector scheme was applied to all central public sector enterprises except exempted ones. In 1985, the workers' participation leads to workers' share in equity, where it is more towards the workers' ownership, and or the bonus or the profits are shared by the workers by the management. In 1985-86, during the union budget, introduced stock options for employees. It aimed to enhance the workers' participation in management. In 1990, then workers' participation bill was proposed, three-tier worker participation, again both plant and shop floor employees through legislation. In 2002, finally, second National Labour Commission on Labor recommended legislation for workers' participation in management. When we see evolution of workers' participation in management, it was started in 1947 and later on with an increase in more and more workers' participation within the organization with the management till 2002. When we are talking about workers' participation, wherever the workers and management are, there is always sometimes the grievance and grievance handling, and the procedures are further explained in further unit on grievance handling and discipline management. The three interrelated terms when we see grievance or dissatisfaction or complaint, the dissatisfaction literally means anything disturbs an employees, whether or not the unrest is expressed in words. The complaint is spoken or written dissatisfaction brought to the attention of supervisor or a shop steward. This is just an example. Whenever the employee is dissatisfied, it is more of a emotional or psychological unrest, or when they are feeling not good, that we talk about, then we termed as dissatisfaction. But the same dissatisfaction, when is documented either by verbal or written communication, that termed as complaint. And when this complaint is formally addressed or presented to the management representative or to the union official, that is termed as grievance. So these three terms are very interrelated and they are more or less same. Grievance, dissatisfaction or discontent. Grievance refers to form of discontent or dissatisfaction with any aspect of the organization, to perceive non-fulfillment of one's expectations from the organization. It can be in terms of salaries, wages, incentives, trust issues, of the supervisors or the subordinates behavior, or maybe any misconduct, or whatever, or maybe any disagreement between the management and the workers. Dissatisfaction basically is arise out of the employment is not due to personal or family problems. Dissatisfaction here refers when an employee feels that injustice has been done and he or she have a grievance. Whereas the discontent arise out of real or imaginary reasons. Initially, the employees may complain orally. They talk about the complaint verbally or in writing. If this not looked into promptly, it feels a sense of lack of justice. That relates to the discontent term. Now, this discontent grows and takes the shape of grievance. It may be voiced or non voiced. The grievance can be in many forms. One, factual, imaginary, disguised. Factual grievance arises when legitimate need of an employee remains unfulfilled. For example, the wage hike has been agreed but not implemented, maybe giving any reasons for not doing that. Imaginary is when an employee's dissatisfaction is not because of the valid reason, but they have a wrong perception or wrong attitude or maybe any wrong information given to them. Such a situation may create an imaginary grievance because there is no documented things on that. Disguised, an employee may have dissatisfaction for reasons that are unknown for himself or herself. If he or she is under pressure from family, friends, or maybe any relative, that they have to reach the work spot with a heavy heart. With a new recruit gives a new table and almirah, this may become an eyesore to the other employees who have not treated likewise previously. Grievance may occur due to many of the reasons. It can be because of the economic, which directly relates with the economic reasons. That can be wage fixations or overtime hours, bonus, wage revisions, etc. Employees may feel paid less when they are compared to others. Second is work environment, which largely is one of the major reasons sometimes as a cause of grievance, which includes the poor physical conditions of workplace, had tight production norms, or maybe the defective tools and equipments, which may lead to the accidents or mishappenings, poor quality of material used at the manufacturing concerns, unfair rules, or lack of recognition. Supervision, which relates to the attitude of supervisor or the managers towards the subordinates, which is in terms of favorism or nepotism, or maybe on base of caste, sex, regional feelings, etc. Work group. Employee is unable to adjust with the colleagues, suffer from feelings of neglection, victimization, or become an object of ridicule and humiliation. This is a psychological condition which leads to majorly on grievance, which results in mental health issues as well. There are certain other reasons which may include the promotions or maybe safety methods, transfers, disciplinary rules, fines, granting leaves, medical problems or medical facilities, etc. The classification of the grievance is mainly on wage grievance, where the it caused because of complaint about the job classification, or maybe it caused because of the individual for wage adjustments, or about the incentive system. The supervision classification, the cause of it is against the discipline and administration or the behavior of the supervisor or the managers. The working condition causes a safety and health, violation of rules and regulations, harassment of union bearers, and even sometimes the go slow tax. Seniority and promotion classification, the cause of it is loss of seniority and transfers, promotions, denial or delay, or transfer of change in shifts. Discipline related classification, the causes of it is alcoholism, absenteeism, accidents, punishments, penalty, or maybe discharge or dismissals. Collective bargaining classification, the causes of it is violation of contract. As a collective bargaining is a they have collective bargaining agreements. If it's violated, then the grievance is classified as collective bargaining grievance, where the cause is violation of it. Interpretation of contract or award, or maybe even settlement of grievances. Union management classification leads to, the cause of it is recognition of union relations, harassment of union bearers, soldiering, and even slow tax. The effects of grievance is on not only on the production employees or the managers, it impacts overall organization. If it relates with the production grievances, it may cause to low production, low quality products, maybe increase in wastage, spoilage, or the cost of production per unit may increase. Further, on the employee, the effect of grievance relates to the rate of absenteeism and turnover, reduces the level of commitment and sincerity among the employees towards the organization. It increases the incidence of accidents as well. It reduces the level of morale among the employees. The grievance handling and discipline management procedures affects majorly on employees. The managers are, increase the it increases the degree of supervision and control and follow up on the managers. It increases the discipline cases. The superior subordinate relationship definitely impact due to the grievance. How the grievance came into the knowledge of the organization. It can be uncovered in many of the ways. First is observation. How we can discover the grievance through observation when the supervisor track employees' behavior. The signs of grievance includes poor teamwork. When, for example, when an subordinate among the team, one member of a team is not cooperating or not listening to the supervisor or the manager, it hampers the entire team effectiveness and hampers the team goals. That also cause one of the cause of the grievance. Indifference towards the commands, or the carelessness about the jobs given to them, or it leads to absenteeism as well. Immediate reporting to unusual behavior is essential. Grievance procedure. A systematic process is needed to address this dissatisfaction. The lack of procedure may lead to unrest and stronger union influence. Grip boxes. Grip boxes are the anonymous complaint boxes placed at prominent location within an organization. Employees can express concern without fear of victimization. Normally, in these grip boxes, the names are kept confidential, or they are not asked to keep to write the names on the letters or the complaints, written complaints, and put it in that box. Open door policy refers where the employees can directly approach to top management about the grievances. Managers verify where complaints through cross-checking information. Exit interview plays a very important role. Normally, it is not happened in a small organization, but definitely it identifies the dissatisfaction and improves the retention strategies among the organization for the existing employees. The employees may fill out a questionnaire during the exit, during the once the full and final settlement has been done. Opinion survey. The periodic surveys are conducted to gather the employees' feedback on policies and workplace conditions. The objectives of grievance handling procedures are given by Jackson in 2000 is to enable the employees to air his or her grievance, to clarify the nature of the grievance, to obtain, where possible, a speedy resolution to a problem, to take appropriate actions and ensure that promises are kept, and to inform the employees of his or her right to take the grievance to the next stage of the procedure in the event of unsuccessful resolutions. Grievance handling procedure have certain benefits. It not only encourages the employees to raise concern about the dissatisfaction without fear of reprisal, it also provides a fair and speedy means of dealing with complaints. The major benefit is to prevent the minor disagreements developing into more serious disputes. So grievance handling and discipline management procedures are very important during, at the early stages. It saves employers time and money as solutions are found for workplace problems. It helps to build an organizational climate based on openness and trust. The processing of grievance is about the top management, where the union presidents and general secretaries are involved. In middle management, union office bearers are involved, and supervisory level union shop departments or maybe the shop floor workers are or the representatives are involved in that. All these supervisors or the departmental workers are aggrieved employees, which relates to or the supervisory level shift their complaints to middle management, and it goes to the top management, and then it goes to the conciliation and arbitration or maybe adjunction. So basically, the grievance procedure is goes as per the hierarchy from the lower management to the top management, along with the union representatives or maybe the employee representatives at every level. Certain key features of good grievance handling procedure is first is fairness. The employer and employees has to be fair. The employees has to be fair in their demands, and employers has to be fair in listening the demands, in taking and to find out the best of the solutions for the benefit of the employees and the management both. Facilities for representation. The good grievance procedure facilitate the representations at every level. There's specific procedural steps which is involved in good grievance handling procedure. It should not be, bypass or the level of hierarchy. So the good grievance handling procedure always follow the procedural steps as per the as per the rules and the policies. Promptness. There should be quick and in handling the procedures or maybe handling the grievance. Sometimes it can be handled at the very early stages, which may not affect much more to the organization. Otherwise, a lack of promptness may lead to the bigger problems or bigger issues such as strikes, or maybe sometimes it wholly impact the organizational economic conditions as well. The prerequisite of grievance handling procedure is conformity with statutory provisions. It has to follow all the statutory provisions. Unambiguity, it should be clear and transparent. Simplicity, the grievance handling procedure should be simple. It should be understandable to both the parties. Promptness, that is quickness about the procedure handling. Training is all about not only the negotiation skills but also about the paperwork or the documentation. And the follow is very important while doing the grievance handling, because there are certain levels, there are certain stages where the grievance handling has to be done within the stipulated time. There are 3-step, 4-step, and 5-step procedure when we talk about the redressal procedure. If it is 3-step, the third step is arbitration by independent authority, which started with step 1 with worker with the representatives or unions versus GM or the owners of an organization. The step 2 is about the union representatives or versus GM or the owners, and they conclude and they redressal at the third stage, at the third step. Whereas in the 4th step, the workers where it is versus shop supervisors, then it goes to works committee versus manager, then local union versus chief executive, and then it moves to arbitration. The five step is workers with shop representative versus shop supervisor, then union representatives of plant versus managers, RR, or maybe grievance. Then third step is grievance committees versus director, that is personal and administrations normally, or maybe industrial relations directors, regional RA union represented union versus chief executive of an organization, and then it moved to step 5, that is arbitration. So it depends on the type of the grievance, or also the mainly on the size of an organization. Where the organization have big hierarchy, it leads to 5-step procedures. Otherwise, in the small organization, it can be redressal can be covered in 3-step procedure. When we are talking about grievance complaints, so the another word which is very important within an organization among employer and employee to maintain the coordination among them, that is discipline. Discipline is a procedure which is required, which is required at every stage. It not only correct but also punishes the subordinate because of the rule of procedure has been violated. Discipline should be viewed as a condition within an organization where employees know what is expected from them, and as per the rules or the standards or the policies of an organization, and what can be the consequences if they violated that. Major aspects of discipline are negative or positive. First is negative. Negative discipline involves force or outward influence. It is a traditional aspect of discipline and is identified with ensure that subordinates strictly adhere to the rules and the regulations. It approaches from the kind of perspective has been it increased towards the ineffectiveness for various reasons, whereas the positive discipline, in other words, calls for internalization. This is an internal matter by your subordinate of an objective and expected norms and behaviors in your organization. The positive concept of discipline assumes a certain degree of self-discipline. It is more towards how the employees work within an organization culture. It is other way. It is also known as where we see the good organization culture. We normally say the employees of an organization are self-disciplined. They are emotionally satisfied. They don't have any emotional conflict within them. This approach helps to achieve both the individual needs of an organization as well as the organizational goals. The third one is discipline as self-control. Discipline at one level means training that corrects, molds, strengthen, or modify the behavior. Discipline in sense refers to development of an individual, that is one's effort at self-control for the purpose of adjusting or modifying according to the needs and demands of an organization. It is also called as self-discipline, where the individuals are taking the responsibility and accountability of their behavior on their own. This orderliness is obtained in grievance handling and discipline management in modern work context by increasing the degree and extent of compliance by subordinates. The other word is indiscipline. Indiscipline refers to the absence of discipline. When there is no discipline, we straight away say there is indiscipline in an organization where the morale and the involvement, the motivation of subordinates are affected negatively. It leads to confusions. It leads to disagreements between the employees. It often leads majorly to the strikes, turnovers, increase in turnovers, absenteeism, and it largely affects on the production and finally to the to the profits of an organization. Factors leading to indiscipline. Role of management is often results to poor management. It is seen in the poor management conditions where the management is not concerned about the employees. we can find more indisciplined employees there, where the actions by the manager can trigger indiscipline. It can be lead to defective communication or maybe sometimes abusive communication at the workplace. The lack of leadership among the managers or the supervisors. Second reason can be unfair practices leading to indiscipline. Unfair practices directly relates with the wages, incentives, work assignments, poor handling, grievance handling procedures, and or maybe the high work expectations at the lower wages. The third factor can be employee satisfaction, and its effects leads to frustration, lack of motivation due to inadequate wages. Maybe the employees expect the wages, security, or maybe a respectful treatment, which they are not getting, and it results to the indiscipline among the employees. The employees' discontentment, is a result of more of absenteeism and late arrivals on a regular basis, inefficiency and insubordination. These conflicts arises due to lack of communication, or maybe poor communication or lack of expressing opportunities. Here, the importance of human resource approach is very important, because the managers must, adopt the human approach or the fair approach towards the employees. The organization, the management, or the supervisors may provide the security, recognition, and opportunity to the employees, which can prevent indiscipline within an organization. The forms of discipline can be in form of strikes, absenteeism, violation of plant rules, damage to machine and property, dishonesty, insubordination, gambling, incompetence, and other forms of disloyalty leads to industry indiscipline. The act of misconduct is known as where the workman is inconsistent, where the employees makes it unsafe for where the conduct of employees, such as an open before him ways not discharging his duties properly, where the conduct is employees insulting and insubordinate, where the workman is abusive. All these acts of an employee is likely to be prejudicial to the interest of an employer or its reputation. This is misconduct. Objectives of disciplinary action is to enforce rules and regulations, to punish the offender, to ensure the smooth running of an organization, to increase the working efficiency, to maintain the industrial peace and the work culture among the employees. The disciplinary action procedure is taken by disciplinary authority, appellate authority, and reviewing authority. Disciplinary authority relates with the people and who are involved in the taking the immediate action on the misconduct or the violation of rules, whereas the appellate authority relates with the formal procedure on the legislation part, and the reviewing authority review the entire disciplinary action or the complaints registered under by the DA, that is disciplinary authority. Disciplinary action procedure starts with complaint and the primary investigation is done. Then the DA decision is done. If the DA decision is dropped, it's okay. Otherwise, the major penalty actions are taken. Then there is action which is taken, then it goes to the appellate authority, where the charge sheet is filed, the written statement and of the defense is taken, appointment of PO or investigation officer is appointed. Then there is preliminary hearing at the court or the appropriate authorities, and then it is inspection of document is done by reviewing authority and the defense, and the regular hearing is done under the legal procedures. Stages in disciplinary action, from preliminary interviews and framing and serving of charge sheet, it finally reaches to the order of punishment and its communication to the workers, or even vice versa to the organization. When we are talking about indiscipline and workers and grievance, it comes to our mind about the unions and the associations. The trade union is an association either of employees and the employer of an independent workers. It is relatively a permanent formation of workers, not a temporary or casual combination of workers. It is formed in in a specific formation. It is formed for securing certain economic, social security of the worker, especially. Collective strength offers a sort of insurance cover to members to fight against the legal actions of the employers. Members share their feelings, exchange notes, and fight the employers. The trade unions are formed in classical, neoclassical, and revolutionary forms. The classical form of trade union, the main objective is to protect the interest of the members by giving socio-economic political system, whereas the neoclassical is goes beyond classical, the objectives, tries to improve the wider issues like tax reliefs, raising saving rates. And revolutionary is about changing the entire system, establishing the rules and policies, or maybe it also leads to the amendments of the in the laws as well about the working class, even through violence or sometimes use of the force, etc. Functions of trade unions is militant or protective or intra-mutual functions, where the protecting the workers' interest, like hike in wages, salaries, providing more benefits, job security, etc. Second is fraternal or extramural functions, where they provide the financial and non-financial assistance to workers during the period of strike or lockout. Political functions relates with affiliating the union with a political party, where the political party help or enroll members. They help with the help of political parties during the periods of strikes and lockouts. Whereas the social functions, where the social service activities discharging social responsibility through various sections of the society, like educating the customers. The main objectives of trade unions are majorly on wages and union and wages and salaries, and the other major is working conditions. Working condition relates with the safety, security, and the overall environment of an organization. Discipline is another objective which on which the trade unions are very active. Welfare of an employees, like having the sanitation, having the canteens, having the place to sit and relax, having the crutches, the maternity benefits to the new mothers or maybe for the children. Employer employee relationship is very main objective of trade unions. Negotiation, trade union work is a negotiation machinery between the organization and the workers. It safeguards the organizational health and interest of an industry. The revolutionary union believe in destruction of existing social and economic order and create an entire new one. They want shift in power and authority. Whereas the welfare union works for the changes and reforms within the socio-political framework society, that is also called as European model. And the uplift union basically works on the upliftment of the employees or the workers, which they work beyond the basics of the the workers, like taxation system or elimination of the how to eliminate the poverty. Classification is also based on the trade, where the craft and journal unions are, these are based on the work areas like carpentry or electric work or maybe the carpet or maybe the union which is from the garment, or maybe the heavy machinery, whereas a journal union is represented in journal union, but they are here the classification is done on the basis of blue collar and white collar workers. The blue collar workers are basically the known as the members, or you know the people who are working in an organization at the shop floor, and the people who are working at the desk job, they are known as white collar workers. Classification is also based on industry. Classification is based on agreements, that is closed shop, union shop, preferential shop, maintenance shop, agency shop, and open shop. So there are certain shops which are known to be as a type of agreement, which is between the workers and the organization. The recognized unions have certain rights, where they have full right to raise issues with the management. They collect the membership fees. They put up the notice boards on the premises. They hold the discussions. They discuss the members' grievance openly. They inspect. The nomination of representatives and committees are formed. The Mainly all these people are categorized into two type of workers: blue collar and shop floor, blue collar and white collar workers. All the shop floor workers are known as blue collar, and all the office staff majorly is known as white collar. They are generally involved in desk jobs, whereas the blue collar workers are manual workers. uh, the white collar workers the level of education is little higher, their social economic background is higher, they may be paid. Blue collar workers are generally the wage earners, whereas the white collar workers are paid on the monthly basis. Blue collar workers are highly skilled, and they are more because they are working on the machines, and whereas the white collar workers are have better in the social standing. The white collar workers have different union, and they are not covered under Industrial Dispute Act 1947, whereas the blue collar workers are they have protection under Industrial Dispute Act. They are majorly on the production processes, whereas the white collar majorly are on the professional and administrative jobs. Otherwise, when we are talking about the trade unions and the workers, there is also the employers associations, which are the formal group of employers which set up to defend, represent, or advise affiliated employers. These may conclude to collective bargain agreements, but this is not a formal rule. It is also known as EOs. The EOs have primary objective is to protect the interest of employers which are engaged in industry, trade, and commerce in India. Whereas it offers advice concerning various aspects of labor policy. It lies with union government and initiates steps that are representative and legislative in nature. Whereas the secondary objectives of EOs are mainly depends on train and develop the staff and members of an organization, obtain the data on wages and conditions of work in industries which are attached to them. They take up the projects for social and family welfares. It deal with safety and health of the workplace and working environment. Initiate the steps to improve public image overall of an organization and improve the public relations. The EO's objective is also to educate the public regarding the scope, the importance, and the need of the trade, industry, commerce. The EO is Different EOs in India is AIOE, that is All India Organization of Employers. EFI is Employers Federation of India. IO is Indian Organization of Employers. SCOPE is Standing Conference of Public Enterprises. CIE is Council of Indian Employers. Basically, the EOs are the association of the employers, where the representatives of employers sit during the collective bargaining or during the work council, or during the the joint councils or the committees across the trade unions for the collective bargaining agreements between the employees. And EOS definitely works for not only for the benefit of the organization, but also keep in interest of the employees to create the culture of an organization. Overall, the EOs not only study and disseminate the information relating to labor policy, labor management relations, or the collective bargaining. It not only lies with the union government, but the EOs are mainly concerned with the matters which are relating to wide range of employment issues, including industrial relations. These the representative of all the of one particular EO from specific trades, maybe for example the EO, the employers organization of a garment industry, or maybe from specific cement industry, or the formal group of employers are set up. They have their own representative who are well known people in that specific trade or the industry, and they negotiate for the benefit from the side of the organization and the management. Whereas the difference and the other side is trade union representatives. When the representatives of EOs and trade union representatives sit together, then only any agreement or any modifications, any intervention can be done during any conflict or disagreement between the people within an organization. We have talked about the blue collar workers and white collar worker, where the EOs are the representatives of the management, not the specific white collar or maybe a specific category of workers. They are linked, the white collar are linked by the employer by being associated with that part of productive processes where the authorities exercise and decisions are taken. And overall, the EOs are the formal group of employers. The representatives are the top management people, maybe the CEOs or the owners of industry, which combinedly make the employers organization. So overall, we talk about the importance of industrial democracy, where we talk about the employee empowerment. We learn about the quality circles. Where the specialized people sit on the quality to increase the quality of the production processes. We learn about the workers' participation in management in different forms. We also learn about the grievance as a form of discontent and dissatisfaction. The grievance, we learn about the several reasons for this, and grievance has several adverse effects on production, employer, and individual employee. How it affects overall the overall economic conditions of an organization, and it also hampers the personal growth and discontentment or dissatisfaction among the employees, which reduces the motivation and morale or the involvement of an employee within an organization. There are several channels or several forms of discovering grievances that can be in form of by observing, by through open communication, through group boxes, and through the complaint boxes, and many more. We have seen that discipline is by and large a result of culture. It is seen that the positive culture is seen where the employer and employee have very good coordination, very collaborative workplace, whereas a negative work culture or negative the culture is seen where the employer and employees have much more grievances, or indiscipline is there, or which is not with the aligned with the employer's security and employee safety and security. There are specific purpose and objectives of trade unions and employers associations. Different forms of trade unions like classical, neoclassical, and revolutionary have been touched upon. The objectives and functions of both trade unions and EOs are covered during this unit. So I hope that you've been able to understand all the units and all the course overall. Thank you so much. Namaste.